Alright guys, so I just finished recording my summoning video for the high new banner, the Force Impulse, and the Rock Hylum. So I'm gonna be doing the kind of like the full breakdown of the banner, taking a look at the units and see what are we actually cooking. So one thing to keep in mind, this banner actually runs into July 24th. So we have approximately 3 weeks and 2 days to actually pull something. So if you guys are worried that you guys may not have enough diamonds, you guys are wanting Hanyu for like the longest, well, this banner is actually pretty good. The fact that they extend for that long. So I don't know why it is extended for that long. Maybe they are reducing the amount of banners that they're dropping. That would be nice actually. Yeah, I think once a month banner is actually appreciated. But I know there's a ton of unit that they're still trying to drop, but that's not the whole point. Let's take a look at this unit. So let's first start off with Bright Noah and Rock Hylum. So this is actually our second limited time supporter battleship. So this one is going to be boosting new time machine up to 44% stat at max out, and the support skill, y'all are not liking it because it's a energy restoration. So I'm not hating this by any means, because if we are honestly speaking taking a look at some of the previous release supporter ship, like let's say the last one, I think is Noi and her whatever, the supersonic whatever ship that was, is a HP regen, and Eternal and Lacus, she's also HP restoration. So the other one that we got is HP as well. So depending on the content you're looking at, HP is obviously very much welcome, but energy restoration is a highly underrated as well, because there are times when I do run out of energy and I'm thinking to myself, why couldn't I have a battleship that actually supports energy, like a good one? And the new type is good. It's not bad. When we take a look at the full roster right now, is not the most extensive in a way. You do have your core, like you have Pioneer, Sasabi, New, Zeta, and any other one that you can think of or not released yet, they will be in here as well. Unicorn series, there's a bunch that are not in there, like Kasatria, Banshee, whatever other that needs to be in there, it will be in there forever and ever. Like for full armor double Zeta, like even we don't even have a UR Zeta, double Zeta or full armor double Zeta yet. So this one will potentially get in as well. Like a UR Quibbly, whatever other one that need to release, they will be in there as well. So this one is more like a UC exclusive tag team in a way, but that's not really a problem, because this team will just continuously get better and better. And it shows that when they drop Eternal and Lacus, we were all thinking like, oh well, it's not, may or may not be that great, but it turns out One Shot Killer tag was one of the more formidable tags out there. Definitely not comparable to new type because of how very limited it is, but I will say right now, you should not miss out on any chance when they're dropping a limited time battleship, because of the stat that's offering. They're too great to miss out. So that's pretty much what I have to say about Bright right here. But let's jump into the main unit. We have the High New Gundam, which is actually going to be a DPS unit. So let's take a look at the terrain coverage. So this one is going to be a for space, ground, and then partially for sea. It should be underwater, my bad. So for atmospheric and then for sea, it's not going to be covered. Very unfortunate, but that is just the nature of this unit right here. Stat wise, if I am to compare to, let's say, Strike Freedom, it's actually quite comparable. Attack wise, it's just roughly about 500 less. If we were to compare to Zeta, for example, Zeta is actually much more higher because of how it's actually built. So tag, let's take a look at the tags. Pretty good. We have UC, Gundam, Protagonist, Psycom, the Earth Federation tag, Lightning Fast, and New Type Machine. So we already have 3 good tags to work from already. Psycom is a very dominant tag for the UC series as well. Pretty good. Lightning Fast is another dominant tag now with the addition of Force Impulse. You guys can see I don't have Force Impulse. Very unfortunate. And then High News in there, New Gundam, Zeta, and then a Unicorn. I mean, this thing is actually low-key kind of cooking. So, yeah, not bad for sure. New Time Machine, we just took a look at this one. This one can definitely get much more better. I don't even have Lysine, so Lysine is definitely one of the more premium supporter, and it's actually pretty good. So what do you know? Definitely a pretty good team out there. So let's take a look at the weapons and see what we are actually doing. So we got the Hyper Mega Bazooka Launcher. So this one is actually a map attack with a pretty generous power behind it, 5400. And it's gonna be a Taos of 5x3. It's not the best, I would say, but kind of practical in a way if you need be. So we have that. The Beam Saber, nothing to really write home about. Beam Rifle as well is pretty underwhelming for sure. So it's gonna be this one. So it's gonna be a 1-4 range, huh? I don't know, man. That doesn't sound too impressive to me. So what are we doing right here? So you are getting the 20% stat increase the further you are against the enemy. So same thing as Strike Freedom, but Strike Freedom actually has a better range but lower power. So depending on how you look at it, you got that. So this one is going to be from Beam and Physical. So those are the two debuffs that you would want to target if you are trying to gain the most power out of it. So you have that. Defend funnel wise, it is going to be a 30% increase critical, but a power much more less than Strike Freedom's full burst. So yeah, that's sad, I would say. I don't know why they couldn't bump it up to like 5k. I don't know. It's not too hard to ask for, is it now? But very unfortunate. This deserves to be a 5k. There's no reason why this one is that high and this one is like, yeah, let's ignore it. But I mean, most of the time you're gonna be popping this one for sure, but still doesn't really make sense to me, because if we have to deal with like, what is it, the Master League event, who knows what the enemy will be. Like, I don't even know if like the AI will always use this one. I think with the update 100%, but still it doesn't make sense to me. Whoops, didn't mean to click on that. What about some of the other attributes? What are we looking at? So we have a increased attack by 15%. That's pretty good. And we have a Fin Funnel Barrier level 4. When enemy attacks with beam ranged weapon, reduce damage by 60%. What? Dude, I'm speechless. 60%. That is borderline better than some of your other like durability unit. Am I tripping, or I'm not, right? What? Wow. Okay. So they didn't really bother packing High New unit itself with like a lot of damage increase, but this unit sounds pretty well balanced to me. If you do get unlucky, you do get attacked. That is, wow. The 60% is pretty darn good. I mean, worst case situation, if you want to run this one as a DPS tank, you can kind of do that as well. Like, you don't have the HP for it, but as far as like the actual damage reduction, you do have that for B. Wow, that is scary good. The other one's going to be Psycho Frame level 2, increased accuracy and evasion by 7%. Pretty good right there. But wow, I'm kind of blowing away with that. That is insane, man. That is actually really good. Okay, all right. So Amuro, what about Amuro? How is he doing? So stat on Amuro wise, if I were to compare it, let's just say to Kira, just for a quick reference. What are we doing? So 604 for the range, and the awakening is 897. That is actually roughly about the same if you combine both the stats. It's around the same actually, so not much to kind of talk about right there, but yeah, it's pretty good actually. So far, would I say, if we're just being honest and just looking at the stat, maybe maybe it's roughly about the same as like Camille, but I do like this one actually a little bit better because you do have a little bit of a wiggle room with the range attack, so it's not too terrible. What about the character skills? What are we working with? It's wow. Why is what? I don't know about that. Level 4 but 60%? Is the energy on high new bad? This is not bad. 417 is not bad at all. Like if we were to compare Strike Freedom like being 396, it's not bad. It's not bad. But a level 4 energy recovery? Ooh. Okay. But you know what else is good? MP level 5 3 SP. So that is actually good. So right at the bat, you can kind of get this unit halfway to its peak performance. So which is actually very nice. You pop this again, so you can in theory use this 2 times and this 1 times, and you should be fine. Actually, so that is not bad. So I think the skills wise, they're actually pretty good. The energy charge, I don't know about that one. That's a little bit questionable, but at least the MP and the basic attack burst, they're nice to have. As far as the character ability wise, own damage increased by 20%, and then awakening and reaction up by 25%. Okay, and you do have a second chance step +1, and when piloting high new, if Vulgar is supercharged or higher, the max range of beam or special weapon is increased by 1. Oh shoot! Hold up! Ooh, that is so. This particular Amuro is fully dedicated to this Hanyu. So, with that being said, this right here. Okay, so this becomes a 1 to 5. And this one becomes a 2 to 6. Wow. This is actually the first time having a range 6. That is, yeah, hiding is busted for sure. I mean, there's nothing to, yeah, there's nothing in this current market that has this EX character ability. So definitely great job right there. So whatever future high new EX specifically, so right there with that specific naming, Amuro is gonna fit into it very, very nicely. So, but it has to be beam or special weapon, so that is kind of like the only caveat. But other than that, yeah, high new is cooking, definitely. All right, so let's take. All right, so let's quickly take a look at a Force Impulse, which is a unit that I was unfortunately unable to pull. Force Impulse looks awesome with the fact that you can actually swap into the different silhouettes when you're using the EXQ animation. I wish I can pull it, but I could not. So let's take a look at what the tag is for this unit actually. It's actually not too terrible. Zap, Lightning Fast, C Series, and Ace unit. So the only real team you're looking at right now is probably Lightning Fast, I would say, right? This one, yeah, this one is definitely pretty good. Ace units. Do we have a? I mean, Ace unit is actually good, but for Ace unit, I don't know if we have gotten a particular UR supporters yet. If not, whenever this team does get one, it can be pretty powerful. You have 2 great durability unit. You do have some decent option for support, and DPS option wise, we do have a lot. So it's not bad of a team. C series, I mean, y'all already know this team is just gonna get better over time. So I'm not even gonna look at it. Zaf wise, is no, not really. this team is still under development in a way. So we're not going to be taking a look at that right now. But yeah, this team can, I mean, this unit can definitely get even better. So we have that. Let's take a look at the weapons and see what's going on. Um, oh, we do have the Excalibur laser anti-ship sword, so that is actually within that. So okay, sure. And then we have the high energy beam rifle, nothing to write home about. The barrage is actually a damage taken from special weapons up by 25%. So the fact that this is a 1-5 range, good. That is great. We take those. And then the all silhouette attack EX. Power is not terrible, and this one has a defense, so defense done by 35%. So is that is definitely not our highest, but I couldn't remember top of my head which one also has a 35% defense down. I think it was probably either like freedom or areas. I don't know, but I know someone has it already, but it's not bad. Definitely not too terrible. I do want to take a look at the abilities real quick. So increase mobility, and then you can, wow, this right here, this is actually a first time seeing a dual. So HP restoration and then energy recovery at level 1 single unit. Wow, that is good. Actually really nice. And then we have the variable spaceship armor level 4, reduce physical weapon by 40%. It's not bad. Given what it is, we cannot complain about that. But nothing in here is actually beam, or sorry, physical, right? Yeah, nothing in here is physical. Yeah, what do you know? That is unfortunate. You do have to hope that the enemy are using physical weapon. If not, I mean, Force Impulse wouldn't really be tanking too much with that. But let's take a look at Shin. Let's see what he does. So it's gonna be a 2 support, so that's good. And then we have Sway. Okay, we take that. We have a range boost and Sway and attack burst. I mean, you can't find a better solid skill than that. And for a supporter, count me in. Then yeah, that's good. What about the ability wise? Okay, we have that. Okay. Okay. Wait, what? So this one is when piloting Force Impulse. If HP falls below 50%, restore own HP by 50%. Wow. Wow. Is this actually our first time getting something like this? I wanna take a look at it. Has it always been specifically to your units? Or has it not been? Oh wow. So they went from tag specific to unit specific. Talk about really being specific then. Wow. Yeah. I mean, if you are being unit specific, you are getting a lot of perks from it, but wow, talk about being stingy and not sharing with others. But that is still cool though. I would say. At least this line is not specific to Force Impulse. You can still use it for other unit, but you're not getting like that mega buff where, oh, you can regain HP. This part is awesome. 1000%. But okay, I kind of like the direction they're going with that, being types or being unit specific, and it gives you awesome buffs. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, but still, I don't have Force Impulse. So I'm kind of sad now that I look at it. But I mean, overall, it's not too terrible. Hiding is definitely up there, and Force Impulse being a support unit, I would say Shin is good. But when I'm taking a look at Force Impulse, I don't know if I'm liking it. It seems just pretty basic to me as like a typical standard supporter unit, but I would definitely say Shin is definitely top tier as far as being a supporter pilot. Definitely has potential from the skill alone. But I mean, other than that, that is going to be pretty much it for me, and I'll be catching you guys all on the next one.